rated teacher comedy podcast on the planet. It's time for Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Here's your host, the teacher comedian himself, Devin Siebold.
Hey, Crying in My Car, podcast for teachers. This is a late night edition. If you are on Facebook, you are probably absolutely baffled why at 12:15 Eastern in the morning, you got a notification that Devin Siebold was online. But here I am. I've been working hard in my office. I'm here. I'm writing. I'm producing videos. I just made a video for this week. I think it's funny. I think you guys are all going to love it. I've been doing emails and conferences. I'm scheduled to speak at a few conferences and bring some humor all about. I just put a ticket link online for Watsika Theater in Illinois. That is going to be live as well. Hello, Caitlin. Hello, Thetis. How are you? These are the people commenting online, the late night owls. It's so funny because everybody always is like, do you know what time it is? Like, do you know what time it is? It is too late. Well, guess what? You're up and you're online and you're watching TikToks. You're watching the talks, which I have a beef, by the way, with TikTok. So I put a video out. And for those of you that are not content creators on TikTok, I don't understand it. Like, I'll put a video out on Facebook and it'll do well and get decent traction and hold in there for a while. And I still get notifications from old videos. Oh yeah, I guess these are all West Coast people. Oh, sorry. So anyways, I do well. TikTok, I've never seen anything like this. I put a video out that over the course of 24 hours got 1.1 million views and then stopped. And when I say stopped, I don't mean like just, oh, it went up like 100 more or 1,000 more. I mean zero. Like I thought I was banned for like a minute because like I was getting notifications, and then TikTok, by the way, is so psychologically playing with me because I know what they do. When I log into TikTok and I browse things, my numbers go up. And it lets me know my numbers are going up when I'm participating. It's like you participate in the community, you get reward. Here's your cookie. Well, I got 1.1 million views on this video and was expecting it to like 4 or 5 million or more. It stops. Then I post a video tonight and suddenly I get huge notifications and I'm like, oh, my new video is taken off. No, 400,000 views on the old video all of a sudden. It's like they deleted it from their database. And then when I decided to they were holding my views hostage till I gave them more. And then they're wanting more content. Such a weird thing. I don't know. I don't like the TikToks. And it's so weird too, because by the way, I could get, if I got millions, if I got Brooks level views here on Facebook, I would be making a fortune. There's a lot of money to be made on videos in Facebook world and YouTube world in terms of getting millions of views. For example, if let's say on Facebook, you get 1 million views on your video, that for people that don't know is about $1,000. If you get 1 million views on TikTok, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, I think I got like 4 million views when I first started. You know how much money I made? $3.75. I don't I don't know. I just don't even know. I don't even know what the point of it all is. I just participate. I get my cookie, and then I don't know. It's so frustrating. But yeah, I don't. Oh, thank you all for commenting online. Look at this, 85 people. Now I'm baffled because I go live at 7 p.m. and I have 50 people watching. Now I go live at 1 a.m. and suddenly 85 people are watching from their bed, and checking everything out. A positive fourth grader. Oh no. Yeah, school nurse saying that you got people that are, oh goodness. You know what? That's the thing. I do want to say this. I hope you all are being safe I hope you're being safe out there, masking up, vaccinated. Do your part, because this is not good. I mean, you guys, you see what's happening in your schools, your communities. I get it from a national perspective, so I get a lot of messages from people that are dealing with things in their schools. I get a lot of messages from people asking me to, be a voice in this, speak out about that. And then I also do on my podcast, Teachers in the News, where I scour literally hundreds of news articles looking for things that are relevant. And let me tell you right now, death is relevant. Death is up there, and it is bad. I mean, just in my county alone, we had 2 teachers die last week, both of them young, both of them unvaccinated. And it's senseless. It doesn't make sense. It's baffling, truly baffling. But when I see it happening nationwide, you know, we sit here and my body, my choice, whatever. But these kids are coming into class with a substitute teacher, knowing that their teacher's gone. You know what kind of grief that causes children in that classroom? I mean, to me, this is like one of the most selfish things you could possibly do, is to not be vaccinated or wear the mask. And you're punishing yourself, your family, your kids. I was on TikTok today and I cried. I really did. I was a mess. I was going to leave my house to go get food. And then I was like, I can't, pull up to the drive through like this. I had to wait a minute. But on TikTok, there was a video of a guy, and he was in his bed, in the hospital, and he was on breathing tubes. And, this gentleman was probably just slightly older than me, and he was talking to the camera, and he's saying, this is what's going on. I've got COVID. I'm not feeling well. This is no joke. And he hasn't posted videos in like 2 weeks. And then I started reading the comments, kind of diving in. He died. He passed away. And then I look at an older video on his TikTok, and it's him and his child, and it's just like, ugh. I mean, the kid's so happy, he's hanging out with dad, and then you see, you know 6 videos later, he's in on his deathbed, and now that kid's fatherless. It I mean, what do you say to that? I mean, you sit here and you say, "Well, it's just Darwinism." It's just Darwinism. But the kid doesn't even know what Darwinism is. He just knows he's fatherless now. And so now you have a fatherless child who has to go through that sort of trauma, and still see grown adults arguing about this crap. Still has to turn on the news and hear people say it's a hoax. It's nothing. Don't worry about it, as they're laying flowers on their dad's grave. I mean, that's not the most infuriating thing I've ever seen. I don't know what is. But, hearing and seeing these stories of these teachers that are in classrooms with other kids. There was one we're going to talk about today. I'm sure many of you saw the unvaccinated teacher over in California read to their students, took off the mask, 12 kids got COVID. And we sit here and we look at those numbers and we go, oh, 12 kids got COVID. And that's what all the stories were. 12 kids got COVID. But there was a deeper story too that was kind of underreported, is that the relatives of those kids also got COVID. These homes these kids go to, I got a friend of mine, a local friend of mine, her kid brought home COVID from school. Guess who has it in their house? All of them. The mom, the siblings, the brothers, the grandfather, everybody got it. I mean, you're passing it off to exponentially more people. And I'm not trying to guilt anybody into anything, because I think it's beyond guilt now. Now I get raged. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, this is not fun. And this is the thing. You know, uh, I do comedy shows, and I have to make a living. And I don't enjoy, going out to these clubs where people are, unmasked and everything. But I also know that these are adults that are making decisions for themselves. And not only that, but most of them are very responsible. I haven't seen any like big outbreaks due to a comedy show or a live event. And it's because typically there's people that are knowing they want to go out, they're knowing the risks, and they usually vaxxed and masked and steer clear of people. And if you came to any of the shows this weekend, if you came to any of the shows in Port Charlotte, you saw me in a mask. And that there were people not wearing them. Some people said something, some people said things as they passed me. I didn't care. It did what I was supposed to. I'm vaccinated. I'm masked up. I kept my distance. I tried to be courteous to people, but it is frustrating because I also feel like I'm a part of it. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm, engaging in this stuff, but it's also the simple fact that I'm vaccinated. I've, taken it upon myself to take the precautions. I go through a gallon of hand sanitizer a day, new masks, put them on, clean them, disinfectant. I've literally got disinfectant wipes all over my office and spraying things. And, you try to do your part, you do whatever you can, but also, you have a livelihood to take care of and you don't want to stop living because these people are not going to stop going places. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. I just don't understand why we're having these conversations. Um, Also, on a lighter note, I did try to get in the Halloween spirit tonight. I know some of you are big Halloween fans. I myself, huge Halloween fan. I love Halloween, love the ambiance of it. I live in Florida. We get one breeze. That's it. I have to be standing outside when it happens. There will be a single leaf that will fall from a tree, and I will stand outside with my jack-o'-lantern and enjoy the one moment, fleeting moment of fall. And and then this is the crazy thing, man. I've never really decorated, but last year, Kate, put everything over my entire house and made it like spooky. So the kids loved it. I thought it was awesome too. And I was like, you know what? I like spooky. Now I'm gonna have a spooky household. So I went over to TJ Maxx as they were closing. I'm running in there and trying to look for things. I got a little uh, Snoopy mat to put down, and that's gonna be kind of cool. And this is the thing though. As I was going in, I realized I'm old because I'm 36. Okay. I had to laugh at myself. I had to laugh at myself in this moment. And if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. I literally was walking into TJ Maxx and there were 2 girls standing there that were very, very pretty. I mean, they were blonde, they had their and I don't prefer blondes, but, like, they're pretty blondes, attractive women. And they were decked out, and they were very, very pretty, but I wanna say this is where the funny comes in. Um, I didn't notice they were pretty right away. I took a quick glance. I was like, "Oh, there's 2 pretty girls." But I also noticed the rug she was holding, and she was coming out of TJ Maxx with a really nice Calvin Klein rug. And I was literally looking at the rug, and I was like, "Ooh, that rug looks soft. Oh, man. That would go really nice on my hardwood floor." But, where would I put it? Would I have to get rid of the other rug? And then I'd have 2 rugs, and the dog would have dog hair on it, and then I had to vacuum it. Would the Roomba even go over that rug? Is it too shaggy? Maybe I need a different rug. I need to go look at the rugs. And this is when you know you're old. 2 beautiful women walk right in front of you, and I'm wondering where the rug they are holding is going to fit in my scheme of things in my house lineup. I mean, it's so funny that how, I think 35's it. I think 35's where things start to change and it doesn't matter anymore. I wanted nothing to do with these 2 women, but I wanted everything to do with that Calvin Klein rug. And you bet I went straight to the back. They did not have one. None of the rugs suited my needs. I was disappointed. But I got a colander instead. I don't know if that. I'm going into TJ Maxx looking for a colander. Do you realize I used to go into TJ Maxx as a kid looking for Vocal and Outcast shirts and all this other stuff? I don't know. I feel 40's worse. I bet I'm nearing 40 and it's coming. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I get depressed. I will say this too. Age depresses me. I don't think it's supposed to, but I think the internet has everything to do with it. Why do we start these old trends where we flash back? Where did the time go? And all this oh, look at how old and how young I was and all. And I'm like, oh man. And we keep punishing ourselves. I look at these memes and I want to find the person that created it. And I'm like, why? We are like the one meme that was like 1983 is closer to 1939 than we are to 1983 now. And I'm like, what? What did you just say? I mean, just some of these. I think that age people didn't really think about it. Like, you thought about it, but you didn't think about it. Now we look online and we see all of our friends aging, and we see other people aging, and we see people, celebrities that we go, oh my goodness, look at them now. And I don't know, it's such a hard thing to accept. But especially as teachers, yeah, you're right. Especially as teachers, we definitely age quite a bit. We age quite a bit. Um, yeah, I love. Yeah, welcome to the age when they move around the grocery store and it makes you mad. That's true. I actually have different Publixes mapped out because I live in an area that's high Publix concentration. And so I can go to various different Publixes. I already know one Publix does not have an item that I usually like. So if I'm out of that item, I have to go to the other Publix. And and sometimes I just go into Publix to go into Publix. Today, I actually, oh man, you're right now. I feel old. I'm about to make myself feel old, but right behind me is a fridge, and this was not planned by the way. So hold on. The people watching online, people listening on the podcast, hold on. So, would you like to know how old I am, people? I actually went into Publix today and I purchased a carrot cake. I literally bought a carrot cake for myself, and I was like, "Ooh, I'll have a little slice of the carrot cake. I can, and then I can nibble on this, throughout the week, and it'll be my little treat, my little carrot cake treat." I'm turning into my grandmother. Like, she would have this. She would have a little cake that she nibbled on, and I even remember I cut a little piece of it about an hour ago, and I was like, "Let me have a little piece, but I get not too much. I don't want to get heartburn." I mean, oh, now I'm making myself ancient. So I got my little carrot cake. Yeah, nibble on it. True story, Caitlin. Nibble on it. That's the verbiage I'm using at this age. I'm gonna nibble on it. Have a little gander. Maybe have it go into my digestive system. But I don't know. I feel old. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. Carrot cake is vastly underrated. And wait, before we go into teachers in the news, I want to blow your mind. If you have ever considered coming to Disney World, the one thing that you will eat in Disney World that is better than any place in this entire world is a carrot cake cookie. It is a giant cookie with two sides of actual carrot cake, and in the middle, it is stuffed with carrot cake frosting. Anybody who has ever been to Disney World and has had that can tell you it's the greatest thing ever on earth. Also, they can tell you that you can make it. You can actually, there's a recipe online. Look it up. Carrot cake cookie from Disney World. Make it. Trust me on this. Make it at home. You will thank me later. It is delish. It is delish. See how old I am? It is scrumptious. I'm telling you. Uh, it'll be a humdinger. Oh my goodness. All right. So I'm going to go into teachers in the news. No, I'm not. That's a different button. So let's go into teachers in the news real quick.
From classrooms to chaos, we searched high and low for the craziest teacher stories this week. Here are your teachers in the news.
All right, Caitlin, ask and you shall receive. I will talk about that one. That was actually one of the ones that I was not going to, but I will. First off, this is an interesting one. A substitute teacher is a Yankees player now. What the heck? Apparently, the newest recruit, and thanks, Michael, for the stars, by the way. If you're online, you can give stars Facebook. The newest recruit for the New York Yankees, he's a prospect, Stephen Ridings. He started playing for the Yankees this August, firing triple-digit fastballs and striking out the side in his big league debut. He arrived out of nowhere. In fact, literally arrived out of nowhere. This guy just a few months ago was a substitute teacher in Florida. He was making tests and keeping kids in line. 6'8", big guy, throws 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Said he would do the stuff at the school, and then after school he would go lift weights, throw a few balls, and stay in shape. And got the call to go to the big leagues. That's crazy. One day you got a substitute teacher, the next day you're a substitute teacher. I can't imagine what those kids feel turning on TV and seeing this. By the way, though, let me tell you right now, if they asked her, they said, how'd you do with the kids? And apparently, um, he said that he didn't really mention that he was a baseball player. Some of the older ones knew about it. They thought it was cool. They heard that he might be, making it his way into being a professional baseball player. And apparently, he just decided to make the leap. And now he's making, if he's making what $100,000 a year, I mean, that's 10 times more than a teacher in a substitute teacher in Florida. All right, next one. This one I don't know about. I try so hard to understand this one. There's a teacher that was on TikTok. She deleted her account, and she had a video in her classroom. And I've seen the video. I get why the outrage is, but I think it's so crazy to me. Sometimes people get mad at things just to get mad at them without ever understanding the context. So a teacher in her classroom does Pledge of Allegiance. Student can stand if they want. Students don't have to stand. They just pledge. And anyways, they don't have a flag in the room. And a student pointed out during one of her videos that she was doing, hey, when we do pledge, we don't have a flag. And she's like, oh, yeah, I took down the flag last year because of COVID. And it was just kind of freaking me out. I don't know why. Maybe it was hanging in front of the door. Kids were all touching it. Mine, I used to be in a classroom where it hung right in front of the door. Kids would come in and rub their hands on it, or you didn't. I just didn't have anywhere to put it. That was the only place it hung. Anyways, what I'm getting at is she took it down, put it into a box, doesn't know where it's at. In the video says, I don't know where it's at, but I'm looking for it. And in the meantime, she just jokes and she goes, you can, pledge to that flag if you want. And it's a pride flag. And it's a joke. I get it. In the context of the video, she's laughing about it. She's like, just pledge to the pride flag for now. But she said she's looking for the American flag. She's going to find it, going to hang it up. And of course, everybody freaked out, started sending this woman all sorts of threats and anger. And we had ex-congressmen talking about it, calling her a wacko online, conservative commentators and everything. I just don't understand it. I was clearly, to me, watching it, clearly a joke. Clearly. Apparently not to the people online. Of course, over on TikTok, they had different things. She has since deleted it. The Newport Mesa School District wrote, one of the teachers created a personal social media post that caused alarm and concern, showing respect for our nation's flag is an important value the district instills in our students and is an expectation of our employees. We take this matter seriously, are investigating and addressing it. Okay. Anyways, I don't know. I don't think there's any investigation here. To me, clearly a joke, but whatever. If you want to discipline, I guess. All right, next one. This one is kind of I don't know where to go with this. I really don't know where to go with this. Students in California are demanding that the teacher pension fund, the largest one in the nation, revoke its fossil fuel investments. Now, some of these numbers are staggering because when I read that headline, I thought, oh, so the teacher pension fund has investments out there and, they just put it into these funds. They put them into, mutual funds and it touches, oh, you got a little bit in this, little bit in that, little bit in this. No, actually not. Apparently, these are insane numbers. The California STRS, they call it, is the largest educator-only pension fund in the world, has $6 billion in holdings of fossil fuel companies. $6 billion they have invested in fossil fuels. $327 million in Chevron, $356 million in ExxonMobil, $58 million in Valero, and the pension fund itself is valued at $310 billion. And apparently, they're like, hey, you guys are investing in a lot of things that are destroying our climate. And these are the students, by the way. Why don't you just, stop, and maybe invest in clean energy, things that are going to actually help the kids that you're teaching. That's interesting to me. They responded. They said no. Basically, they said they have seen continued importance of fossil fuel in developing countries. So again, we're banking on other countries polluting themselves and using these fossil fuels. New technologies need to be made available and viable on a global scale to support the transition to low carbon future. So basically, they are not going to divest the money because the new technologies they don't have any faith in. It's always is crazy to me. We consistently do this, and I'm not really pointing a finger just at this, but we keep going. Oh well, I'm not going to buy an electric car until the technology's up to date. But then the technology is never getting up to date because the manufacturers of the electric cars aren't selling the electric cars and they're not making any money off the electric. So they're going to continue to produce the gas. You have to make the leap. You have to make the leap. And I don't know. It's just crazy to me that they have $6 billion in fossil fuel investments. That just blows my mind. It doesn't say, but I would be interested to know if they have any investments at all in sustainable energies in wind energy, solar. It doesn't say that. I would be interested to know. I would just want to know, like, is there any, hey, this is maybe the future kind of investment. Yeah, it says, well, it says somebody asked if it's diversified, what other industries. It does say there's 610 billion. I'm sorry, 310 billion, and only 6 billion is in the fossil fuel companies. I don't know what the rest of it is. Again, it would be interesting to know what they have invested in over in especially California. You usually think they're the ones that are like super environmental, and I don't know, it's just weird. And then the last one is a teacher takes a nap under his desk, has an actual bed underneath the desk. If you haven't seen this video, I'm about to show it to you over on StreamYard. But it is a very interesting clip of a TikTok. Hold on one second, share screen. TikTok is obsessed with this guy. I'm so mad at this, by the way. I'm furious because I actually think I did a video. I don't know if I posted. I think I posted on Vine. Goes to show you how long ago it was. And this guy is a teacher enjoying his lunch break before his next class. He is under the oh, it's kind of loading. Underneath his desk, he has a drop down bed with a little pillow. And I don't know. I thought it was kind of neat. I thought it was cute. You know what though? It's actually pretty practical. I true story used to not nap, but rest. I would have like 10 minutes or 5 minutes before the students are coming back. And I would set my alarm on my phone for 9 minutes or 4 minutes. And I would literally lay down behind my desk and put my feet up for just a second, close my eyes. I wasn't going to sleep, but man, did I need that silence. I needed it just for a minute to kind of reconnect. Sometimes I would even put on meditation music. I would actually do a little bit of meditating in my class to try to get out of, the funk that I was in. The amount of stress that I was under hurt so much when I was teaching because I could feel it in my jaw. I could feel it in my bones. I would literally leave the classroom exhausted, even on days that I didn't do a lot. You ever have that? Where you don't even necessarily physically exert yourself a ton, but mentally you're spent. And it has the mental game has taken the rest of the game out of the equation in terms of your body and everything. It blows my mind how stressed I got. And I wish that there was more stress relief for teachers. There needs to be some sort of programs or meditations and I know they try to do these mindfulness things, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. The one that I had in my school did not. We had a lady come in, just go, "Hey, don't forget to meditate," and then leave. Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Well, that's a game plan. Yeah, don't forget to be a millionaire. We got it. All right. I don't know. First day back tomorrow. Wow. Yeah, you guys, I mean, should be nervous. Take it slow. And I'm gonna say this. This is one thing too. Last thing I'm gonna say. Uh Stop being pressured by people. Boy, people are so peer pressured about masks and stuff like that. If you're in a setting and you don't feel comfortable, uh, put your mask on. Don't feel like you're being rude. Just put your mask on. If you're in a faculty meeting and there's people without their masks on in there, don't feel like you got to take your mask off. Don't feel like you're being, just keep your mask on. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. It is what you need to do. And, but I see sometimes, friends of mine even get a little little lax. They're hanging out and they're like, you know what? We don't have a mask. Let's go hang out. And I'm like, yeah, we would normally put on a mask, right? Okay, well, let's put on a mask. But what's the point? I don't know. So survived 2 weeks so far. Good, Alyssa. Keep it going. You're in school for elementary. I was taking some questions online. Sarah, in school for elementary education. Any advice? I loved elementary when I did a practicum in there, did a little bit of internship hours in there, spent some good quality time in elementary classes. Loved it. Thought it was great. I love my kids and their elementary age. It's just a fun age for the kids. It seems to me like elementary teachers really get to lean heavily on the relationships that they build with these young students and just really feeling like they're fulfilling kind of almost a parenting need, and they're really involved with these children. In the high school, it's more about the curriculum, hoping that they succeed and trying to guide them. But at a young age, you're trying to model for them. At an older age, you're trying to uh, steer them, I guess, is that if that makes sense, the older you get. So I loved elementary. I don't think there's, anything wrong with becoming a teacher today. Some people say, maybe we shouldn't, but they're getting raises. They're getting a little bit better in terms, but the thing is they're adding more work. I wish they would stop that. Stop with the here's an extra 1,000. Oh, by the way, we need this out of you. That's got to stop. But I don't know. It just depends on, again, where you teach. Some people love their job. Some people love their school, love their admin. I've taught in schools where I absolutely loved it, and taught in schools where I didn't want anything to do with it. So and again, it had nothing to do with the children at any point. It had everything to do with the situation, the support system that is in place. Yeah, I hope and that's the thing. Kids are great about the mask. My kids are 5 and 6, love it. They don't care. They choose their own designs. They think it's neat. In fact, my son Liam, he's on it. I mean, there was one time where we were walking up to where were we? We were walking up to somewhere that I just had to run inside real quick. Oh, it was a gas station. I just had to pay for gas. And I was like walking up. I was like, guys, let's run in real quick. I just got to give them $20 to pay for gas. Nobody's inside. I could see through the window. I didn't grab the mask out of the car. And Liam was like, we don't have masks. We don't have masks. We can't go inside. We don't have masks. And I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, good call. I said, that's, right now it's just us. So I think we'll be okay. And I just ran inside, paid real quick, got out. But it was interesting to see his point of view. I mean, he's on it more than adults are. And again, they're not traumatized. They don't mind it. Sometimes I think we lean too heavy into thinking how kids are thinking and what they're impacted by. And I don't know. I think I was more impacted by the stuff I saw on TV as a child and things like that than I was actually masks. But I don't know. All right. So district shut down and went to virtual. Wow, that will never happen in Florida ever. Yeah, this is somebody said, and the last thing I'm going to say before I head out is somebody said this: we are not taking the precautions half of the precautions that we took last year, when last year was what we feared. No, this year is what we feared last year would be. Does that make sense? This year is what we feared last year would be, yet we're taking half the precautions that we took last year. It really doesn't make sense. I mean, considering what we're going through, this should be the virtual year. It really should. Last year, we didn't know. Last year, was virtual in a lot of places, hybrid in some. Some places never went back, but now we're going back. And I don't know why we set deadlines. And I guess we're like, okay, well, we set these deadlines and we did it last year, so we can't do it this year. Why not? We did it last year. I don't know. I think that it's kind of weird that we're at a place that it's not good. And again, I'm in Florida. I'm telling you, people, you don't understand. I flew up to Chicago. I flew to St. Louis. I wore my mask. I tried to stay as diligent as possible, and I was very lucky. I don't like traveling like that, but I had to. It's puts food on the table for the children to eat, and these other places don't get it yet. I don't know why they don't get it. Down here in Florida, I tell my friends, and they're all in agreement. I posted on my personal Facebook yesterday. I said it's starting to look like the obits. It's starting to look like the obituaries. I open it up, dead comic, dead friend, dead relative, dead this, and it's just like ugh. and it's coming. It's coming to you. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. I hope that your town is ready. But if you're in a small town where things are kind of, hey, we're all right, we don't have to worry about this and masks and that, it's on its way. So, anyways, and if you don't think it is, go to Disney World for a second, and trust me, I'll find your neighbor there. He's bringing it back with him. So, anyways, thanks so much for tuning into the podcast over here and hanging out with me late night. It is almost 1:00 in the morning. You are awesome, and I imagine it's all West Coasters. But don't forget, I've got shows coming up. DevonComedy.com, Wasika Theater in Illinois. If you're near Chicago, and a Patreon member, message me. I've got a special bonus for you. And again, thanks for supporting the podcast. And I will be back next week with a brand new episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. Caitlin, I'll get to it. Caitlin's asking. I will get to it. I promise. I'm just not this time. I'll do a live tomorrow.
gmail.com and check out Devon on tour. Info and merch can be found at devoncomedy.com. Support the podcast on patreon.com/cryinginmycar and get exclusive weekly bonus episodes. And tune in every week for more hilarious stress relief for teachers right here on Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers.